Given that there are spy tech surveillance who specialize in extracting identified information, why should we believe that they won't try to use our data for nefarious means? They are primed and ready to be in charge of controlling all personal data in the US, essentially.
Excuse me.
Full fight of all
I've
US
seen you
citizens.
taking some
It
pictures
is clear that they want to do
or
the same
video,
thing
I'm
in
not
the
quite
UK.
sure.
Yeah.
Can I ask you what you're doing it for?
I put it on YouTube.
Yes, and somebody else on the Palestinian support demonstration said that they put it on YouTube, and we were concerned about what it's going to be used for. What on YouTube? What company are you using it on YouTube?
Just me, myself.
And what are you saying about it?
Nothing, I just record. The chap over there, he knows me, so don't, if you want to, if you're worried, just have a word with him. You know the guy, yeah, I think he's from the university, yeah, he knows
White
me.
t-shirt.
With the white hat, but yay! Yeah, I just come along and film whatever. I go to most of the protests.
And what do you do with it?
Just upload it. This is live, just in case anything happens.
And who watches it? Can you tell?
Everyone, some people support, some people I don't, but you know, I can't help who watches.
And what do you put it on?
Just straight on YouTube. If you go,
yeah, go on.
if you go onto Street Hawk, the easiest way to find it is type in Lee's Pro-Palestinian protests.
Yes.
And you'll find them. That's what I normally film.
Okay. Right.
And so I just film. So I always put everything in full.
It's fine.
Okay.
These are just videos.
Yeah.
It's just videos.
No.
You can video. It's a public place, and
I understand.
it doesn't
that,
cause any.
but-
It doesn't cause any harm.
No,
okay?
no. But we were concerned, and also somebody. There's a guy who I know who really behaves in the same way as you.
Yeah, he's not the
there.
same.
No. But on Saturday, one of our people got into a fracas with him, and the protester got arrested.
Yeah, well,
I understand that. So I didn't approach
I
you.
always say, even
but
you
I'm
guys say,
wary.
there's
From a
no.
legal standpoint, it's in a public place. You can
Yeah.
film
I
whatever you want,
understand. No. You don't
and
need
he's not
to.
causing any issues. Okay?
I understand that.
We know each other.
Yes, exactly.
But your protesters need to behave. Yeah.
You understand though why we might be wary.
But I always say, even at the start of the protest, they said behave, and for some reason, but you get people who come along, and it was like on Saturday I was there. The ones that kicked off, I haven't seen before.
Oh,
And
he
I
was.
think
He
people
was well
turn up.
known.
And
the one.
there are people I see who turn up. But in Leeds, Leeds is dreadful for it because the Leeds lot, they're in and out of court all the time. They're assaulting people. That's all they do. They behave. They're actually convicted racists in Leeds. One of them assaulted a Jewish guy, and they made him a steward. Which looks bad, and then it was a few weeks ago, they were stood there with a banner saying, "We're anti-racist."
Yeah.
Stood next to the guy, and I was just going, "Yeah, you make yourself look silly." And there was another one who shouted out, and they invite him back. But the guy who organised it was chatting to him. He don't care less. Don't care less. And I've said to him, yeah, this guy, right, one of them assaulted a Jewish guy, being convicted.
Yes.
Another one shouted out, yeah. But this is why I always say, but Leeds is really bad. Here, it's only now and again.
Yeah.
But it's like on Saturday they said at the beginning, it's like if I were them, when Charlie V turns up, just smile.
Yeah, but the thing is, what Charlie's doing is something totally different, mate. You know, at the end of the day, he's getting into the middle of people's face. Like he went up to a family, like a woman who had a small child and a bloke the other day. That's not morally correct.
Yeah, but you
can't
just smile. That's the thing.
That's not. It's not.
Somebody who you're on the demonstration, you see them every week, and they won't say.
Is it that artistic artist?
Yeah, that's it.
It's not just leave him alone, because to be fair,
no, this man won't give his name, won't say
There's
what.
quite a few.
No. I'm talking about one. I've got a picture of him. I've taken pictures of
Right,
him.
I'm going to go back, okay?
And he
Yeah, no
uses,
problem.
He uses filmmaking, by the way. He uses filmmaking.
What does it look like?
He's about in his 50s. Bit taller than me. He usually wears a red t-shirt, and he holds it like this. And I've asked him, as I asked you know, why was he doing it? He says, "Oh, I give it to a friend who puts it on YouTube." The
Some
same as
do,
you.
some film for
And I
others.
said, well, what name, you know, he said he refused to do that. And he's down there right next to us and he's following us. Now, I'm thinking, if he does it repeatedly, he's not trying to get the whole world. He wants to use it, intimidate.
I'll tell you,
Not like you.
no, I'll tell you now, because I say it, and they all say it. The reason most YouTubers turn up to these protests, they're not taking sides, couldn't care less.
No, but
They're hoping people kick off.
exactly.
Boom, and that makes them money. And if you were smart, you have a word with them and say, if anyone turns up, it's like I've always said.
But why? For instance, I don't think you're defending this guy, but when I asked him what the YouTube, like how I could access this, he refused to tell me. And I find that very, which is why when I see him now, I take a photo, and I could get him for harassment.
You probably couldn't.
I could,
No,
well,
because it'll be argued he's a fascist, you see, that's the thing.
it's stalking.
Be nice. You know when you see it's not happened in Manchester, in Sheffield it's happened, and a few others. You have them running up with the banners trying to stop the camera.
I'm not running up, I'm talking
No,
to him.
yeah, but that's
And
what
asking him about the same
yeah,
information
and what you do is
and trying to get him to be open. And the fact that he didn't say how he was
yes,
doing
because
is very...
ka-ching, haven't you worked
Yes.
it out? Then you get wound up, he's made about 500 quid. That's the thing. And the trouble is, every time these folks, right, I've said it, I don't think you fully grasp it. When people behave badly, right, one, it makes them confident, that's all they're bothered about, and it makes them money. Two, you're making yourself look bad. And I've said this, you know, literally, if none of these protests ever happened since the war, you'd have been more popular. You've actually done more harm.
Nobody will know anything about it if you won't.
Do you know how many people watch? Right. Do you know Charlie? I don't know. Have you heard of Charlie B?
When we go along the streets, loads and loads of people are supporting.
They're not upstairs. They're going down.
BBC, for instance, as an example, would not have had any pictures of what's going on, except that we're demanding it, because that's what they did in
Yes,
previous
it's
wars.
not that, it's the poor behaviour what I'm on about. If people behave, and it's not too bad in Manchester, Leeds is poor, and other places are dreadful. They make and a lot, because I filmed it from the start. Leeds was massive. Leeds was huge when it first started. And I know a lot, no, you're not listening.
Yeah.
And a lot of protesters stopped going because of the poor
How
behaviour.
many protesters do you know?
Well, because they're in touch. No, because they contact me. No, I'm in the news group. They actually do. If you watch my videos, you'll see they all know by my name.
Lots and lots
And they
of
invite
people.
me.
I walk down my street and people are cheering that I'm going on the protest.
There might be.
And they might,
yes, but
yes.
you're not listening to what I'm saying.
am.
You're not.
I
I'm
disagree
saying.
with you.
No, because what
That's
I'm
why
saying
you say,
is
because
not
I
you.
I
No.
understand your argument. bad behaviour. You're blaming
Yeah.
the protesters on
Yes.
the bad behaviour.
Yeah, well, but who else is doing
Well,
it?
if the protesters
When we
want-
I've been assaulted a few times, literally, yeah, on camera. I had, in Leeds, like I said, poor behaviour. Never in Manchester. I've always said Manchester. I always say it's very. The only time I've experienced it once when there was a counter protest and they all behaved silly. But every time I've come, they've behaved in Manchester. Leeds haven't. Leeds has had, and they've gone to a few, and they don't get rid of them. There's these guys call themselves anti-fascists, and they think they're fascists. They are complete fascists, but just because they call themselves left-wing, they're not. And they actually, one of them, they followed us for them. One knocked me over. I had a bike and nearly hurt myself badly. Then a woman whacked me in the face, and then a few months later, one of the others then he threatened me and then assaulted me. And he's actually he's abused a Jewish guy. There's a Jewish guy who just goes peacefully. He's in a wheelchair. He's gay, and they've abused him. A couple of have in Leeds, and this is what. And the trouble is, and I've said this over and over. I've said it openly because everyone has agreed with me. I've said if the Leeds lot and the others, and again, yeah, I'm not saying Manchester because it was only Saturday. It got silly, and I didn't know. I haven't seen that guy who being spared because one of them pushed me. And I don't think I think he just turned up. And there's another one. As some women were walking past, they were wolf whistling them. Doesn't look good. Now I've said this. I don't say it silly. I've said I could organise this without any problems. I'd kick out all the idiots in Leeds. Manchester again isn't bad, but I mean but this is what I always say, and you've got to have a word. When you see Charlie Veitch, he had a letter on Saturday saying that one of the protesters, and there was another one, were going to murder him on the protest. That now, you've got to understand, Charlie Veitch gets at least 100k of views. So over it, that's the best exposure. So no, 100k. How many people see this? Probably a few thousand. He's getting you, and there's others. It's like artistic artists. He's fairly left wing, but because they all see him, right, that guy could get you. He'll come because he's local. He could be you should be working with that guy because you'd be getting. You don't even need to have. You'd have more publicity worldwide than anything.
You think that? Have you seen the YouTubes that have been closed down because they support Palestine? Have you seen? No, you haven't, because they've been closed down.
I haven't seen
You
that.
think that YouTube and these media organisations are impartial? They're not.
But if you break the rules, it depends what they've done.
There were 4 doctors. It was just there were 4 doctors came back from Gaza, and were talking about what conditions they were working in Gaza,
Right.
and they got closed down by YouTube.
But what were the reason they gave? They don't just close it down, they do give reasons.
They might have done.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
No, but I don't believe those reasons. Like, the council tried to close down performances of pro-Palestinian, events, like play readings, because they support Israel and they don't want people to know. So you think the media is impartial, but it isn't. It's making money.
But there you go. That's what I'm saying. So why don't you get the protesters to go, when you see artistic artists, really nice, and get him to promote you? He could be promoting you like crazy. He would. I know the guy.
Good.
And if you met him, I've been with
So,
him.
I've had enough.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right then.
It should be noted that they have just got a contract with Leicestershire Police. How can the police have a contract with Palantir and also the NHS? Our patients should be treated as patients and not profiled as offenders. They entered a new contract with the IOF in 2024 to keep them armed and ahead. How can we, as the NHS, looking to care for patients and for people, join in a contract that is also killing people in another part of the world? They're involved in the mass public surveillance operation ex-Keyscore that Edward Snowden uncovered. Palantir products are used to target and kill people. The Alex Clark CEO is quoted to have told investors that the aim of building Palantir was to power the West to its obvious innate superiority